Welcome back, everybody, to Monster Hunter. Hooray. Just a quick heads up, this episode is going to be, or this commentary is going to be recorded in post. I was playing this and was playing this missions, was falling asleep, and my commentary was like funny, but like kind of out there. Like I was like, I'm gonna jump on this Rathalos, even though it was a Raytheon. I kept saying Rathalos instead of Raytheon. And we're gonna shimmy shake it, shimmy shake, shimmy shake. Yeah, that's when I mounted the Raytheon. And it's like, you ever wonder what makes a pink Raytheon pink? And then I just sort of trailed off and I didn't say anything for like 10 minutes. It was very embarrassing. I was watching through it. I was like, I gotta toss this one out. I can keep the gameplay because I didn't look like it completely like stopped playing, but like it was just weird to listen to. It might have been fun to listen to, but like at a certain point you'd be like, what, are you drunk or high? And the answer is neither. I was sleepy. Like here I was like, hey, can I have some of your candy? No? You don't have to be mad at me and spew fire and whip your poison tail at me. Rude. I'm still saying that because I thought it was kind of funny, but like, as the episode went on, it went from like, maybe he had too much to drink, or maybe he was dipping into the weed or something, which unfortunately I don't do the illicit drugs. I just enjoy me alcohol from time to time, but not in excess, usually. But it was weird. It was weird. I just, like, I got to maybe about 2 minutes from now and was just like, I can't use any of this. So, Pink Raytheon, I think we've definitely fought one already. We're fighting it out here in the wasteland. I think we fought it originally in the forest, so same general concept. The only difference is I think the fighting Pink Raytheon in the forest is a little more difficult because there's, well, you have more north and south to navigate. So does the monster. Now, not that Raytheon and Rathalos don't use the, their ability to fly to their fullest ability, but like this more wide open situation where I don't feel as boxed in by the forest, and it's more of an open area for the most part, at least until she decides that she wants to go into this area's semi-foresty area. I also forgot to put on poison resistant stuff, so I am not poison proof. I'm just somewhat poison resistant, I think. As you can see, I'm wearing whatever they call this metal, not the high metal armor, I don't think. It's some sort of metal armor, though. The reason I'm wearing it is because it gives you the chest plate and the head gives you earplugs, and with level 3 earplugs I ignore Raytheon's roar. Even the Pink Raytheon's roar is not loud enough for my earplugs. However, when we do go to fight the Rathalos, both the original and the Azure Rathalos, which we will meet here if you haven't already seen it flying around in the background or in one of my other monster hunts, we will be actually fighting that officially here in the coming episodes. 'Cause it's on my list of optional quests that I have to do. So I may have mentioned this. I have trouble remembering from episode to episode what I say. But I'll just reiterate real quick. First and foremostly, I didn't think that playing Monster Hunter World would be such a fucking nightmare. But this was not a smart playthrough for me. Not because the game's too difficult or whatever. It's the grind portion of this, where, particularly when I got to high rank, in order to collect all of the, we'll just say, regular green Raytheon armor. Okay, I had to run Raytheon about. Well, first of all, I chose to use investigations because I think they give you more rewards. I'm speculating. I think they give you more rewards than you just running the optional quest over and over again. And if you run, I'm told if you run the same quest over and over again, you're more likely to get better rewards as you move forward. So, long story short, I had to run Green Raytheon about 15 to 20 times in a row in order to gather enough materials to make both sets of her armor. Okay? Now, I don't know if that's average, if that's slow, because you're looking to get certain pieces of material that are harder to get, like a Wraith. I had to get, I think, 2 Raytheon rupees, or I think it's 2. So the Raytheon rupee is the hardest item to get off. Usually a gem, like a ruby or sapphire or whatever. That's the hardest item to get. And then the second hardest is usually a plate. So there's a Rathalos plate and a Raytheon plate, and you can usually pull those from the you have a chance. I don't know if it's a guaranteed thing, but you have a chance of pulling a plate from the tail, which is really great because that helps increase your chances by getting a tail cut of pulling that particular item. But yeah, it takes a long time to get through some of these mid-level, high-level monsters, whereas even when you fight the Kiliaku's armor is partially made of things that are, farmable small monsters. So if you run an investigation where you have to hunt, say, 10 Shamos, or you have to kill 10, what do they call them? Gaiju fish? Whatever, they're in this level. Not only do you get the one of 2 rewards that you pull from those, or I guess there's up to 3 or 4 rewards you can get from small monsters. Like Shamos, you can get like a sharp fang, a Shamos scale, or a Shamos hide. That's 3. The Gaiju is either a Gaiju scale or a Gaiju whisker, and some armors use that small stuff. But when you start getting to the medium level, high level monsters like the Raytheon, the colored, pink azure version, you start running into it starts becoming more difficult if you're trying to make a complete set of armor, to get those rubies or sapphires or whatever the gems are called, because they're all unique to that specific monster. So you can't just go and get a Raytheon ruby and apply it to any other armor. Like some of the lower level monsters, they just have what they call Wyvern gem, and the Wyvern gem can be farmed from any number of different monsters that drop it. So if you need a Wyvern gem for we'll take a monster like Pookie. We'll just say he needs one, okay? But for some reason, we'll just say that I don't think he does, but the great Jaggeris, for some reason, drops a Wyvern gem. You can use, you know, a much easier fight, like fighting the Great Jaggeris 2 or 3 times, to pull that gem instead of fighting, say, a Pookie twice and having an equal or worse chance of getting that Wyvern gem you need. So, just saying. So there's a lot of grinding. So like, what will happen is I will, you know, get my character to the point where I feel comfortable doing a recording, you know, with, you know, not only armor but weapons, and then I'll run whatever 5-6 monsters, and that'll be good enough. Or maybe I'll run like 10, we'll see. And that's good enough to get me, you know, a week's worth of episodes, okay? You know, each one being about 20-30 minutes long. But then I'll spend the next 7 days trying to level up my characters, run the same investigation over and over again in order to make the materials, because, you know, running the Pink Raytheon once or twice is not going to give you enough materials. I mean, you might have to run the... Initially, you might have to run the quest twice just to be able to build one piece of armor. Really depends on what you get in the drop. Yeah, bad against Thunder, bad against Dragon. Problem with Dragon is, which I believe is what I'm wielding. Yeah, I have a Dragon. The reason why Dragon sucks so much is that it's not strong and it's not sharp. So it's better to go with, well, I guess this one isn't sharp either. I was going to say, if something has blue sharpness, it's better to run the one with the blue sharpness than to run the one that has less sharp. You know, obviously. But also, you know, so it's super, it's, you know, the Raytheon real bad against Dragon, but if my attack value of my weapon is, say, in the 300s, and this one's not as good, it's like the second place weakness, but I'm running it in the 500s. I mean, I should be, unless I misunderstand how numbers work or Monster Hunter works, but I should be doing overall more damage. Doesn't matter. It looks like she only needed a hit or two to get her into the stage where I can capture her. But long story short, oh look, it's my buddy Devil Joe. Fuck you, Devil Joe. I saw little announcements on my board every time I would come back from a mission saying, the Devil Joe quest is now available. Go search for tracks. I'm like, I don't want to do that. That sucks. Because he is so fucking aggressive. I'm not even going near him. Look at him. I'm angry at you. I'm going to eat you. I didn't even go near you. You came to me. Now I gotta run away. Nope, that's not a drop. Luckily, he's kind of got the ADD. I think he can't focus. I don't know. I mean, he's Devil Joe. He is what he is. You know, he's a pain in the ass. He's super strong. He's super aggressive. He's super tough to fight. And yeah, however you want to define Devil Joe. Yeah, I'm just gonna dig in these bones here for a second. Yeah, good bone. That's a good bone too. All right, I completed that field research thing. All right, we're gonna capture the Pink Raytheon. We'll go back. We're gonna do another monster in this episode. But for right now, what am I doing? I'm not going to capture it, I guess. All right. Well, this is why I said I'm recording. I'm doing the commentary afterwards because I thought I did capturing, not blowing shit up. But I guess I didn't care about capturing this one. Who knows? Maybe I go back to camp and grab a thingy. capture them. I don't know. I don't remember. I think I remember why I did this. I think it's because I wanted its tail. If I capture, I won't be able to sever its tail. Of course, this is a lot of fucking damage I'm putting into this tail. I'm not getting a prompt for this. Perfect. That's what I wanted. I wanted the tail. Ooh, that was big damage. You're dead. Alright, we're gonna go carve his tail. Even though this is not what you should do first. You should carve the monster first, and then if you have enough time, which you should go carve the tail. Oh, never mind. She's close enough to me that I'm doing both at the same time. Never mind. Ignore my complaints. A little Raytheon material here. Another scale, good. Not really much more for me to do here. There are some bone spots to my left and right, but not really going to make much difference. You know, if there's anything else here I can grab real quick. Nah. Nothing good. Quest complete. Alright, let's go. This time, we're gonna go fight a Legiana. Yeah, I got a lot of shit to do. There's a Raytheon, there's the blue, Azure Rathlos, regular Rathlos, there's the Lavatos, Uragon again, and, who else haven't we fought? Oh, yes. Basil Geese. We'll eventually get to Devil Joe, which I may cheat that particular fight by using my overpowered, you know, get to master rank quick armor and weapon. I don't mess with Devil Joe. He's just such a fucking asshole. If the game's gonna give me like, okay, here's the anti-Devil Joe weapon. All you have to do is swing it once and Devil Joe dies. I would just fucking do it. And people would be like, well, isn't that half the fun is fighting the monster? It can be, but I don't know. Devil Joe is just like, he is like the epitome of all the things that I kind of don't like about this game. Like that, I just got a free get out of jail card there. In the interim, I switched my Palico from the distract ability with the mask over to the vigorous spray, whatever it's called. So that was no good. So I do have in my kit, arsenal, whatever you want to call it, I have equipped flash bombs on both of my capture and non-capture quick sets. So yeah, I have those always because we're going to be running into more monsters that are going to require some variation of they're flying in the air. We got to knock them out of the sky. Okay, use a flash bomb. And they just come, they just drop like, you know, like a rock out of the sky, you know? I believe that was my second get out of free jail card. Am I mistaken? Did I just get two? I got two of those. Should have carded that second time. I may have to switch up some armor here. Particularly if I get carded a third time. Well, I mean, carded for the first time, but run out of health for the third time. Or I could just play kind of smart. And you fucking don't stay on the ground, do you? You think you'd be all tired out from all this fighting you're doing, but you're like, no, I'm not going to get tired. Oh! I don't like this, I don't like this arena we're fighting in though, so I may lure him down to the lower arena where the, what do they call them? Gimlax or whatever are. Because A, they're down there, B, there's the area is a slope that you can use to slide down and then do a jump attack on. If I had the gliding mantle, I could probably use that as well, but I never seem to bring that with me in this one level where the gliding mantle is particularly useful. Stuffing in his brain.
Yeah, right there in your neck. I'll put it right in your neck. Oh, another knockdown. How unfortunate for you, buddy. Also broke one of your what do you would call it? Horns? I don't know what you would call these. Doesn't really... I'm sure it exists in reality, but I'm not sure how it exists in reality. That helps it, like, for flying purposes, that is. So, you know how we talk about realism in my video games? I like realism in my video games, and when I say that, I actually don't really mean it. I actually probably don't want any actual realism in my video games, but could you imagine like there being like a remote chance of like you're just sort of walking along and then all of a sudden a monster dump just dumps right on top of your head? And could you imagine if it was like a kind of like a fucking asshole monster that's like half their, well, not half their gimmick, but part of their gimmick, you know, like a Congalala. You know, one of Congalala's gimmicks is he farts a lot and causes you to smell bad, which makes it, I guess, more difficult to do stuff in some capacity. Yeah, we're just gonna lure him down here to this bottom area. You can fight on my terms, not on yours. I don't know, I thought it'd just be kind of funny if you had like, you know, you're in the middle of like a monster fight, and then you go back to heal, and then all of a sudden, like, right on top of your head, big disgusting number 1/2 bird dump falls on your head, and you're like, you're like stunned for a second. Of course, then they would make that into like a gimmick, and you'd be like, wow, this bird has amazing bowel control and apparently infinite large intestines because of just the fact that it's taken 15 dumps on me over the course of this very long fight. You know?
maybe make it a cutscene. Like you're introducing a monster or something, and it's the first time, you know, you're seeing the monster with your handler, and then all of a sudden, like, the monster takes a dump on your handler or something. I don't know. But now I'm starting to, like, now I'm starting to sound like one of them people who, like, you know, have, like, a duty fetish. Which I don't. But, like, I don't know. Looks funny. It can be funny, I guess. Not very funny when it happens to you, or when you have to clean it up in a baby diaper, or a dog takes diarrhea on the carpet, you gotta clean that up. That's pretty gross. I'd probably throw up all over the place. Put a little damage on her. She goes back up to her nest. We capture her. We move on with our lives. Pretty simple, right? That wasn't too hard. Good swing. I'm gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna swing over to here, like this. And we've saved ourselves probably about 5 seconds. And maybe lost it by not using this last one. Who knows? One of the big things that I did that I think has been very helpful is when, not initially, but shortly after the, garden opened up and I could start farming, you know, having the game farm, electric bugs, lightning bug, whatever they call those, thunder bugs. I was able to start creating, I wouldn't say infinite, electro traps, but, it allowed me to speed up my electro trap thing, and then I also made some other stuff to, you know, make the knockout bombs. Anyways, we're at the end of the episode here, so I'm gonna cut it here. When we come back, we're gonna be fighting other monsters, probably a Rathalos. Till then, I hope you all have a good one.